हेलो फ्रेंड्स, वेलकम टू एडुटैप। कैसे हैं आप लोग? आशा करता हूं यू ऑल विल बी वेल एंड योर प्रिपरेशन इज गोइंग रियली वेल। So today we are going to discuss a very important small point but a very important point regarding your revision strategy for SEBI Grade A Paper 2. I know all of you would have been at the fag end of your preparation. You would have covered all of your content by now, right? Most of you at least. And now we are we are receiving a lot of calls from you people that how to revise. So there is no single strategy for revision, but I will be telling you some points that work for me and that work for many other people, right? So these points which I am going to tell you are totally based on my experience, but yes, try to implement them, and if you find them fruitful for you, I think you will be benefiting from them. So let's start. So the question is that how should we revise for SEBI Grade A given its so vast syllabus and given that there are a lot of facts to be remembered in the syllabus or in the course, and given that SEBI would be testing you on a lot of questions which would be fact based, right? So revision becomes all the more important. That's why we are having this session. Now I am going to tell you a parallel revision strategy. Right. Now, what is this parallel revision strategy? See, when you have to cover a lot of subjects, right? Now, mostly what people do is they try to revise in a serial manner that, okay, I'll finish in 15 days, I'll finish management, next 15 days or 10 days, I'll finish finance, then I will finish costing. So when you serially do your revision, what happens that by the time you reach the revision of your fourth subject, you will feel that you have already forgotten the first three subjects that you have revised. I hope this is the case with many of you. That's a very common thing that happens, that is being human, right? So that if that happens with you, please comment in that video and tell me that yes, it happens with me. Anyways, the solution is that we need not revise it in a serial manner. We need to revise it in a parallel manner, right? In a parallel manner. This is called parallel revision technique. It's a proven technique. I have implemented it, many others have implemented it. So what should we do in a parallel revision technique? See, you have to make a plan. That would depend upon your grasping power, your time that you are going to give to your revision, so many other factors. I am just going to give you an example. So in parallel revision, what do we do is, instead of revising serially, as I told you, we revise parallelly, right? So I will designate days for subjects. That is, on Monday I'll revise management and finance, on Tuesday I'll revise company law and accounts, and on Wednesday I'll revise costing and economics, right? So this way I'm revising all the three subjects parallelly, and I will also mention the chapter numbers that I'm going to revise. That on Monday for management and finance I will revise chapter 1 of both, or maybe 1 of management and chapter 2 of finance. That solely depends upon your plan that you will obviously customize for you. Similarly, on Tuesday, you have designated your subjects that I will revise company law and accounts and chapter numbers 1, right? So Wednesday, you will revise costing and economics, chapter number 1. Then come Thursday, you have revised all the 6 subjects, you have revised 1 chapter of each of them. Come Thursday, what you will do is you will revise the same subjects which you revised on Monday, right? So again, it will be management and finance. Now the chapter numbers will change. They will become the second chapter of management and finance. Similarly, on Friday, company law and accounts, chapter number 2 of both of them, and Saturday, costing and economics. Right. Now this is not the schedule that mandatorily you have to follow. You can customize your schedule. Maybe you can keep 3 subjects on Monday, 3 subjects on Tuesday, or something like that, right? That solely depends how do you want to make your schedule, depending upon the time you have and the speed with which you can revise. So this is one point that you should remember. This might seem slow when you revise. You will feel that you are going slow, but you are not going slow. Ultimately, it will have better effect on your retention. That's for sure. Second point, whenever you revise any chapter, when to attempt the MCQs? Most of the students, they attempt the MCQs immediately after revising the chapter. That is strict no-no. So serial revision is strict no-no. Attempting MCQs just after revising the chapter is strict no-no. You have to give a gap of at least 7 days. at least 7 days gap you have to give between your revision and attempting the test, because that would truly test that how much deep the information is lying down in your memory, whether you can recall it or whether you can recognize it when you are attempting the MCQs. Right? I hope I am clear. So do parallel revision, make your own plan, and give at least a gap of 7 days between your revision and attempting the test. Now, why a gap of 7 days? Let me come to another point. See, whenever we try to take something out from a memory, right, there are two kind of techniques. Either it is through recall or it is through recognition. Either it is through recall or either it is through recognition. Recall is when somebody asks you that which is the highest mountain in India. They don't give you the option, so you have to recall. You have to recall from your memory that which is the highest mountain in India. Without any cues, without any hints, you have to answer it. This is called recall. And what is recognition? Recognition is when they give you some options, they give you some cues, they give you some hints, and you have to choose from those hints or options. Right? So a normal MCQ, when you have to choose an answer here, it becomes a recognition. Recall would be I simply ask you which is the highest mountain in India. Normally it is believed that recall is a better strategy to put things in your memory for a longer time than recognition. But anyways, our exam is based on recognition technique, that we need to recognize the answers. But this works in some cases when the options are varied. When the options are too close, that within how many days an auditor should be appointed, 50, 30, 60, 90, then recognition will not work. All the options will seem similar. You can't recognize which is the correct answer, even from your memory, even if you have read it. So recall becomes important in that sense, right? So ultimately what I feel is that a student who is preparing for a fact-based exam should use this recall and recognition, that is both the strategies, while revising or while memorizing the things. Now how to implement recall, right? Recognition we can easily implement. We know that when we practice the MCQs, we are implementing the recognition strategy. So you have a lot of MCQs in your course, you can do that. Now recall. For recall, there are different strategies, but what I prefer is something you make a table, like commit to memory, that these are the points I want to commit to my memory, right? And you just write, when you are revising, you just keep writing, auditor shall hold office till put a question mark. So that when you try to recall after 2, 3, 4 days, you should be able to answer it. Right? So when you revise, don't make notes. I'm not asking you to make notes. Just simply write, some questions, or at least if there are too many points to put in, at least put some points which are really confusing for you. Right? Which after reading again and again, even if you are not able to remember, then try this technique. Make a table, like these are the points I want to commit to my memory, and write, auditor shall hold office till put a question mark. Answer this, recall this after 2 days. First auditor shall be appointed, right, question mark. So this is not only for fact based, even for definition based or some other type of questions like unit or output costing is used in, that is where, in sugar mills or in coffee shops, where, right? So like this you can make a commit to memory table, keep on putting the question marks, keep on writing the things here which you want to commit to your memory or which you are finding it difficult in spite of many revisions you are not able to commit to your memory, right? And then keep this table aside, and then when to use this table, the answer is try recalling after 2 days or 3 days. If you are able to recall something after 2 days or 3 days, I think you have memorized it sufficiently, right? And even if you are not able to recall, then go back, check what was the answer. So that would additionally give an input to your memory, because when we are not able to do something and we feel that we did this or we read this at least 2 days back, and then we see, okay, this is the answer, and oh, this is the answer, then it's like an additional input, right? It will help you to memorize that thing. So if you recall, that's like icing on the cake. Even if you are not able to recall, your brain will put greater emphasis on that okay, this I forget, but I have read it. You go back, check, and then it will be it will kind of become permanent in your memory. So try recalling after 2 days, right? And recognition, try to recognize after 7 days. And as I told you, recognition should be through MCQs, which are already there in your course. And that's why when I said that try to attempt MCQs at least with a gap of 7 days, the logic was that recognition should be tried after 7 days when you have read or revised something, whereas recall should be tried after 2 days or 3 days when you have read or revised something, right? So this is kind of revision strategy which I can suggest to you, because we are receiving a lot of calls and the major query is this, that how to revise. So if it suits you, try to implement it. Maybe it works for you. The results might be slow, but I can assure you that if you follow this strategy, the results will be better, right? And ultimately that matters, that you want to score marks in your exam. Okay, so thank you guys. Thanks for watching this video. If you like this video, please press on the like button, and for more videos like this, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are always there for you. Thank you. Bye bye. Have a nice day.